Hi there. Today I'd like to walk through the user control interface I created using Q-SYS Designer. Let's enter our pin and remove the first layer. And if anyone didn't know that, all those layers are transparent and you can poke the buttons through that layer. So if you're using it as a pin pad in security, you need to make sure that the other layers are completely hidden and only reveal once you get rid of the pin pad layer. Otherwise, you can touch them. So let's get right to the big stuff. I gave the operator a lot of layers and buttons and pop-outs, so that way they can do all the control they needed. And the largest button here is the desk option button. Normally, the seating of the chamber is assigned. So every member has an assigned seat and they have a picture assigned to their desk. When the operator turns their mic on, their picture disappears and it goes to a bright green microphone and their name appears up in the top here. And that works for every mic in the place. Sometimes there are events where the assigned seating doesn't matter and it's a committee or a conference room. So what they want to do is they want to get rid of all the pictures. They can pop to this layer and they turn into buttons and they simply have an on off, except now the names don't jive with those seats. So they can erase all the names and then they have no names. They can show all the names on another layer. And let's say they wanted me sitting at this desk, which I don't want to sit at that desk, but let's just say that's what happened. When they turn that mic on, my name would appear up in the top. But with this many desks, it's really hard to find where someone is seated. So they can pop up these little yellow icons and they can identify the desks where people are seated. So then when they needed to turn Trevor back on, they could click that mic because they knew he was sitting at that desk. They can turn off all the icons again. And if they need to go back to their regular seating plan, they can just load the default seating chart and everybody's name would come back to those seats. If they're doing any work on all the desks, they can find all of the hardware underneath, which is identified by a hardware number and a desk location. So all of the A4s and all of the GPIOs that are associated with the desks are all ID'd the same, and then they can see them as to what desk they are connected. Another handy pop-out here is the kiosk panel control. There are touchscreens at different locations, and this way the operator can control them straight from their own console. Instead of having to go up to the console, the operator could simply tap the button 4 times and unlock the console and have it operational. And then they can see with the dashboard lights that is actually functional. By glancing at this, they could see, the translation booth isn't unlocked, and they can unlock it. And at the end of the day, they could lock it as well, or they could reboot the kiosk if that touchscreen was having a problem. The translation pop-out lets the operator see that the interpreter is controlling the translation booth, what location they're listening to, the chamber, 254 or 255, where they're translating from. And if we have somebody who's connected via remote, we simply connect the clean feed audio and we turn the mic on for them. So they're connected on clean feed. It's running on Dante via to that PC, and then over the QLAN, it's connected to the translation booth. We also have the option, we have a microphone downstairs in our remote location. We could turn it on and we can talk directly to the headset of the interpreter in case there's a problem. There's a PTZ camera to help the operator have a little bit better view when things are too far away. Normally the camera is looking at the throne. If the operator arms a microphone, it goes to that mic, and when the mic is off, it goes back to the throne. If they select the clerk table or a wide view, it just defaults there. Then they also have a pop-out layer of all these targets, and they could target the camera to a different location in the room, up in the gallery, wherever they need to see. And then they can also pop out and they could zoom in or pan tilt to wherever they need to. The operator has a couple other small pop-outs for their headset mixer and anthems. On the setup page, they have access to the presets, which prepares it for their sitting, and all the destination. Also, again, the status of all the equipment. And if there is an issue with the gear, they can go to the status page. We're seeing the fault, obviously, because I'm not connected to the core. I'm just emulating. For a more specific problem, they can pop out the, say, the A4 flexes, and they would see specifically what's missing on whichever device. The core lights up green. We're not connected, but that's okay. And there's one more admin page and a little DNS routing, because I'm running through a Cedar DNS just to clean up the audio, make it sound a little snazzier. They could completely bypass it if there was something wrong with the DNS. And that covers most of the layers and the pop-up buttons. Thanks for all your interest and hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.